right, so uh, hope hope people realize that these things are more of a venting session for me sometimes. It's my therapy to get this out because obviously I get too involved in this silly game. But I guess when you raised in, around the Astros and watched them suffer for so many years as being a terrible team and kind of being the laughing stock in baseball for many years with 100 lost seasons, 100 plus lost seasons. Uh, you finally uh, get get a winning team and win it all, and then this crazy stupid stuff with the trash cans comes out and like makes what you did basically meaningless. You really a fan really hopes that they can do it the right way and silence the critics. And the way if they play like they did tonight, it's just not happening, and it's frustrating and heartbreaking actually to watch. All right, so I've recorded a rather lengthy video after tonight's game, and it was mostly, you know, bashing the Astros. Uh, I'm one of those that gets really upset when they play terrible. Not so much when they just lose, um, but when they play bad, and when the manager makes some terrible decisions that also possibly cost the game. Uh, I get upset, but I decided I didn't want to post all of that uh, because we want the Astros to win. We're going to try to remain positive, try to show restraint in criticism. So I've cut down. I know that there's still some in this video, definitely, but I've cut down a lot of it, cut it out of the video. And I want to say thank you to those that take the time to watch and listen to my videos. And if you do enjoy them, I hope you'll consider hitting the like button and the subscribe button. This is 30 minutes after Game 3 was over. Although really the game was over after the second inning when the Astros were down 4-0. Lance McCullers was awful tonight. After 5 innings, the Astros were down 7-0. All of those runs charged to Lance McCullers. Thank you very much, Lance. So after the second inning, after it was 4-0, uh, Dusty Baker should be held accountable for the rest of those runs being given up by Lance. Lance clearly did not have anything tonight. Also, the Phillies clearly were picking up tips that he was giving on pitches. You could tell after Bryce Harper hit his home run and the way he stopped at the on deck circle and had words with the next batter up and patted him on the chest. And then in the dugout, they were talking, and it was very obvious that he had picked up some tip that Lance was giving. And not once did a pitching coach come out in the first or second inning when he clearly was already screwing up the game. But to leave him in after giving up 4 runs in 2 innings, and it looks like, okay, yeah, he's starting to get on a roll. No, he wasn't. The Phils were just playing around with him, and you're already losing 4-0. It's clear that the Phillies are picking up pitches. That Lance is tipping his pitches somehow, and obviously he doesn't know how he's doing it, or he wouldn't be doing it. But the Phillies, without a doubt, picked up something, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's not illegal at all. The Astros do it too all the time when they get something on a pitcher. So, not saying anything negative about the Phillies doing that. But the Astros then need to be proactive and get Lance McCullers the heck out of the game. At that point, have to write the game off. You know that the Astros aren't going to come back. I don't believe it's ever happened in World Series in a World Series game, a team has come back from 7 runs to win. It's never happened. It's only happened a few times that a team comes back from a 5-run deficit, and wouldn't you know it, it was the Phillies against the Astros 2 games ago. But so, anyways, after the Astros are down 7-0, you pretty much have to write this game off. But you hope that the Astros at least will show some fight, show a little passion. And in this game, they were completely lifeless. Some people say it's better to just lose a game like this, get your butt kicked 7-0. That it's not that painful compared to losing by a one-run game. And I disagree with that, because in a game like this, you're seeing absolutely no passion from the team, completely lifeless. Astros were being absolutely dominated by the Phillies, and that's going to carry over to tomorrow for the Phillies at least. You hope that the Astros can muster a lot of fight to get back into this series, because right now the Phillies are rolling, and they think they know they got the Astros on the ropes. So in my mind, even though tomorrow is not the deciding game of the series, in my mind it is the deciding game of the series. Either the Astros will show some fight tomorrow and even this series up at 2 and guarantee that they'll have at least a game 6 back in Houston, or if they come out like they did today and the Phillies roll, the series is as good as over. So while it's easy to pin this loss on Lance McCullers and Dusty Baker, you also have to put a little bit of the blame on the entire team. You realize that you're not going to overcome a 7-run deficit to win the game. But like I say, you want to make a statement still. You want to show that you're not going to just roll over and die and let the Phillies easily take this title. And that's what today's game was. The Phillies easily took this game. Diving into a few things in this game that stood out, that I think need to change. I remember in years past, the Astros had such a great reputation for working a pitcher. That means they would take pitches, they would get the pitcher's number of pitches up, they would wear a pitcher down, they would wear them out, they were taking lots of close pitches, they were fouling off when they got down in the count. They were making a pitcher work hard. So the ambush the pitcher type style the Astros seem to have adopted is not that successful. If you look at the numbers, if you look at their stats, this year they've 737 runs. That is the fewest runs that they have scored in any of the last 5 seasons, excluding the 2020 season. That only 60 games. That doesn't count. But all the other seasons, they have scored more than they did this year. Just last year, they scored 863 runs. In past seasons, the Astros were very patient batters, extremely patient. Like I said, they worked the pitcher. They got a high pitch count on pitchers, because pitchers are aware that especially this year, all of our hitters go into ambush mode and are attacking that first pitch. Occasionally it works, but overall, for the most part, the numbers show that it has not been as successful as if they would be patient. And when Ranger Suarez got through the first inning with 9 pitches, that's not a recipe for success right there for the batters. Something else that seems to be glaringly obvious is that the Phillies are extremely comfortable when they're at the plate against our pitchers. The Astros' philosophy in pitching seems to always be to pitch away from the batter. So it seems that our pitchers really have no idea how to pitch inside, how to back a batter off the plate. And I know that's somewhat of a lost art in general in today's pitching. Maybe next year in spring training, Astros can get Roger Clemens to come teach our pitchers how to pitch inside some. It's very important to be back batters off the plate. If they know you're not going to pitch inside, then they get up on the plate and they are able to just lean out over the plate without any fear. You know, batters are getting stronger and stronger and better hitters as far as being able to take that outside pitch and drive it to the opposite field for a home run. Uh, it's not these little weak single hitters anymore that you could pitch away from, and you know, if you gave up a single, it's no big deal. But these batters, if they know a pitch is going to be on the outside, that's all they have to do is sit there and look at the outside and wait for the pitch that they want on the corner and drive it to the opposite field. It's just, I don't understand. It's like the Astros are afraid to pitch inside any. If you remember in the Yankees series, um, when Harrison Bader came to the plate, I believe it was in Game 3 in New York, and the Yankees were behind, and they were trying to stage a comeback. And so Bader basically stood on top of the plate. I believe it was Montero pitching for us late in the game when Harrison Bader, trying to get a rally going for the Yankees, you know, trying to get on base any way he can, uh, stood about 2 inches from home plate, and our pitcher then all of a sudden could not throw a strike because he was so afraid of just hitting the batter, um, that he was throwing way outside, way outside, way outside, uh, completely off the plate, and he walked him. And that was, you know, I made the comment that Bader just grinning ear to ear, that smart ass little twit grinning because he earned a walk. Also in that whole series, actually, Anthony Rizzo many times stood up on the plate because our pitchers, they don't handle that well because we're afraid to pitch anywhere near a batter. That's got to change. You've got to make the batter uncomfortable. After the game in Houston, game 2, and everybody, including Jose Altuve himself, saying, "Oh yeah, I'm back. I found it. You know, I fixed the problem." Oh really? Didn't look like it tonight. On the bright side, um, maybe they got it out of their system tonight, and tomorrow they have probably their hottest pitcher the last month and a half of the season, Christian Javier, uh, will be starting for the Astros tomorrow, and Javier has got some of the most incredible numbers of any pitcher in baseball. It's not in his win-loss record. That's just, you know, mediocre. It's pedestrian. So Christian, in his last 5 starts, has not given up a run. He has pitched once out of the bullpen this postseason, and he gave up a home run. But as far as the last 5 games he's started, he has not given up a run. And he has the lowest opponent batting average against. And his nickname is El Reptile. Not only is he cold-blooded, but he has a slow heart rate and doesn't get shook. He doesn't get nervous in crazy situations. They say he remains calm, and that's what they really need tomorrow night in a place where, you know, it's going to be hostile. And so I think having a pitcher that has been successful as he has this year, with the opponent batting average and pitching 5 scoreless starts recently. So this year, Christian Javier has 194 strikeouts and 148 innings. And so all of that is good news for tomorrow's game. Also, I think some good news, something to look forward to, is that Aaron Nola is starting for the Phillies. Now, the Phillies think that that's great news for them because he's either their best or their second best pitcher. But the Astros did score 5 runs against him in Game 1. Another good sign tonight was David Hensley. He wasn't fantastic, but he was better. He was a designated hitter, and he did better than Aledmus Diaz and Trey Mancini have done so far in the playoffs this year. So he got 1 hit, and it was his very first at bat tonight. After that, he didn't do so swift. But I think he's probably earned himself another start tomorrow night. And tomorrow night, I'm pretty sure Christian Vasquez will be catching He kind of has become Christian Javier's personal catcher. And so I think that hopefully we'll get a little bit more offense out of the catching position tomorrow night. I mean, we've only got to get one win in the next two games to force the series to come back to Houston. And I know that we lost a game in Houston against the Phillies, but I have a lot of confidence that if we're able to get it back to Houston, that the Phillies won't win Game 6 or 7. So I know there's a lot of pressure on Christian Javier tomorrow, and then the following day, Justin Verlander. I do still have T-shirts available at my Etsy store. I'll put the link down in the description of this video if you'd like to take a look at them. I've got some pretty cool designs. Of shirts and long sleeve T-shirts and caps and even a pair of pajamas. Um, so if you'd like to take a look, just click on the link that's in the description of this video. And thanks again, and I will see you after the next game. Over and out.